So this is the last workout for the Mentzer experience. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of bummed about it. This has been a great experience, to be honest. Like, I loved everything from it, from the days off, from the things I tried to do as I recovered, the food I ate, the amount of weight I've gained, the amount of muscle mass that I've put on, and more so the psychological aspect of the intensity that I had to endure and push myself through in order to discover a little bit more about my internal strength and external strength, which is always the fun thing to do. It's just more so that's the reason why we work out, is to discover new things, to push ourselves beyond our limits. I mean, a lot of us do, not everybody. We all have our own motives. But other than that, this is a great thing to do. But I'll be honest. One thing that I've noticed myself and a friend of mine, we were talking on the phone a little while ago, and he's a power lifter, damn near world class, and he was telling me, like, this type of training is not for the faint of heart, especially for somebody who's like new into this, or just like maybe a few months into it or a year, being more so depending on the foundation you built. But like a Tom Platz training, Mike Mentzer training, is not something that I would recommend that you just jump straight ahead into, because as you could see by the intensity, or just if you watch Dorian Yates' old videos, this isn't an easy type of training. You need a certain type of mental connection to your muscles, especially the smaller muscle groups, knowing how to control weight in a probably demanding range of motion, and really paying attention to your body and focusing all your energy into the specific areas of your body, to where you know how to induce that muscle growth properly, in the most proper way. And so what I mean is just take your time before you do something like this. That's what I recommend. Take your time, study your body, study your food, track things if you feel like you need to. Take the necessary requirements in order to take this next step, because we see training on social media and we see a lot of people do their own version of training, but you have to realize something too, is those people have taken time throughout the years in order to develop that certain type of technique and a certain type of flow in which they train. Take like Branch Warren, Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman. Some of those guys did like powerlifting and other types of lifting in order to really have the good technical proficiency, in order to induce that muscle growth and have the muscle strength to fulfill that type of training that they like to do. We all have our own type of style, but you really could take your step forward when you try to understand yours more, what you like, what you feel, and what you don't feel, and taking the steps to evolve that, evolve your physical stature, evolve your mental readiness and preparedness to induce the mindset you need. Sorry, I'm a little tired. But if you get it, then you get it. If you don't, take your time and try to. It's like me, for example, I've been training for quite a while, for about 4 or 5 years, but I've done a lot of sports before this. I've done wrestling, football, track. I did a lot of things, so I had a good understanding of my body already. It's You don't want to hurt yourself before you can even try what you want to try. So you have to take steps back in order to gain steps forward. And that's the beauty of it. It's just trial and error. This is a whole path of discovery if you make it that. If your judgment isn't clouded by the social media influence about people telling you what to do, what not to do. It's just like you can make some gains if you don't really follow that same crowd. I'm not saying like don't listen to nobody or anything, just go off on your own because there's always going to be people that know more than you, and there's always going to be people that know more than I in this. So I'd rather listen and take bits and pieces of information and to apply that to my lexicon of thought and knowledge to be even more better. I mean, that's the beauty. That's really like a glorious thing to think about, to be honest. And so, just just like I said, just take your time, man, or woman, whoever you are, whatever you identify as, don't really care. Um, and just enjoy the process. It's one thing I've noticed about this is like a lot of times too, you see people yanking weight and gaining yanking weight and not really understanding how to like use the right technique in order to yank that weight for power movements and everything in order to keep those muscles engaged in the negative and the positive portions. It's just that's why a lot of people get hurt too. It's like we don't know how to control those movements, like say like you having a lat pull or anything and you are putting so much emphasis on the top portion of the negative stretch, and when you pull down you slightly disengage some of your muscles and you might cause a tear in another part of your body, like if you're like in your bicep or your tricep or anything. That could happen if you don't know how to maintain it. It's like it goes deeper into the just screaming and yelling aspects of this. Just like you could scream and yell and it feels good. You feel like Conan the fucking barbarian. But you have to realize even Conan was a human with tendons and muscles and everything. And he still could get hurt potentially. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never even watched the movie, so I don't even know what happened. But if you get my drift, then you get my drift. And I guess that's what I liked about this. Just like even though I feel like I know a good little bit about muscle building and cardio and stretching and stuff, this still showed me that I still have a lot to learn. I mean, I've always known that, but it really hits when you actually do something and you actually feel the reality of it. You actually understand the reality of it. But I know a lot of times when you feel like you don't know much about something, especially about your passion or anything, and some people know more, it kind of kills your ego. It kind of kills that sense of self, that confidence that you have in yourself. That's what it feels like. I mean, we all can come from it, especially if you don't grow up around the environment that that envelops you in that mindset of being okay with what you don't know. But sometimes too, you have to learn that you got to build that up too. You have to build that understanding of this is how life is, and if you want to kind of get ahead, or not even kind of get ahead in whatever you want to do, then just take a step back and learn some more. Listen to people, ask questions. Like I'm in the gym, I see somebody doing something interesting, I'll just ask a question like, "What are you doing? Like, what does that do for you?" Rather than trying to give tips on this doesn't work or anything. Just like it's always interesting to learn about things that you don't know and to take the time to learn about them. Just putting yourself out there in those positions in order to get stronger mentally. And yeah, this is just a great experience. I still can't believe it's almost over. I've been doing it for about 2 months now. And just like I said before, I've seen the best muscle gains I've ever seen, probably ever. Like the amount of muscle that I've put on is amazing. Like, just to give a pretty much FYI, I started this journey at 194, and now I weigh about 213. And yeah, I did have my moments where I kind of did like a sort of dirty bulk, but not too much to where that's just the main. That was just the main thing. It's just the dirty bulk. But I took my time and I ate fruits and vegetables when I needed to, and I stayed lean the entire time. I stay lean a lot. That's just how my body is and everything. But yeah, I really don't know what to say anymore about this. I don't want to give too much away because I'm gonna do what do you what is that called? What is that called? A review. I'm gonna just say review on the entire thing. I'm gonna make a separate video about that, breaking down certain things. So I don't want to give out too much of what I say there because I'm gonna just leave that video to be made for its own. But yeah, this arm day was it? It was pretty intense, but it wasn't as intense as I wanted it to be. I wasn't on low energy or anything. I was feeling good. It's just one thing about this intensity is like you want a good partner at a lot of times. Not to make it more so an excuse for somebody to push you, but if you want to get out all those extra reps and exert that energy that you have, then it's always good to have somebody to help you push that weight to like on a leg press or something. You want them to have an additional force that kind of alleviates some of the heavy weight that you have on the leg press, so you don't fatigue as much when you know you could have got a little bit more. That's what I mean. And so doing this type of journey is you could do it solo, but that takes a lot more mental power, to be honest. And it does. Just like I said, this is not for the fucking faint of heart. And especially if you make your life about just working out, you work out every day, take pre-workout and everything, then it's probably not going to be for you right now if you can't help yourself. Because doing this type of training is like, it takes time to recover. It takes a lot of time to recover. And I mean, especially if you're on gear or anything. I mean, I'm not on gear. I think that's my first time ever really saying that because I don't really care about the whole being on gear and not talking about that or trying to feed some ego or some shit. I really don't care. So, but yeah, doing this on your own is a different type of mental fortitude you need. It's just I don't have a partner, and a lot of times when you get to a certain level of strength, you start to realize that not everybody is like that. You get strong. You get so strong. It's like you forget. I'm not saying everybody else is weak, but you forget everybody else may not have that type of strength. And so, if you've seen some of these videos, some of the people that tried to push the weight with me, it was even hard for them. They were starting to fatigue, and they were starting to hurt in a way. And so, yeah, it's just a lot of variables that come into this, that come into play with this type of training. It's not easy, but it's fun as hell, and you'll see a lot of gains. I think I'll keep a lot of this training in my repertoire of ideas with this and just grow from there. But other than that, this is basically it for the video. This is about to end, and I'm just upload it, and we'll see where the journey goes from here on out. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it a lot.